Hi, I'm Luke with the Gamer, and this is a beginner's guide to Halo Infinite multiplayer. Halo Infinite's multiplayer has arrived early, and this time it's free to play, so that means there's probably a lot of new players jumping in and trying out Halo for the first time. So for those new players, they're going to learn quickly that Halo is far from your average FPS, and there's a lot of little tricks and quirks to it that you'll need to learn if you really want to win. And that's why I'm here. As an experienced Halo player for many years, I'm going to show you the ins and outs of Halo multiplayer and give you some quick tips to help you secure those big victories fast.
Victory!
This little circle in the bottom left corner is one of the most useful tools you'll have. It can warn you when enemies and vehicles are nearby. Enemies will appear on your radar as a red dot if they're running or sprinting around, but be aware, if someone's immobile or crouch walking, they won't appear on the radar. Likewise, if you see that little blue arrow in the center, then this means you'll appear on the radar of enemies. The radar is one of the most useful tools you'll have, and if you pay attention to it, then it means you can get the drop on other players and get quick and easy kills. While the assault rifle is versatile and can handle its own in most situations, it's important to make use of the other weapons that spawn on the map, as they're the key to really racking up the kills. From the good old battle rifle to the high power rocket launcher, there are plenty of weapons to accommodate different situations. While the human weapons are often very straightforward and easy to understand, the alien weapons often carry unique perks. Take the good old Needler for example. At close range, its high rate of fire and lock-on projectiles is quite frankly lethal. And some weapons even have unique perks to them. Energy weapons can make quick work of enemy shields, and if fired at vehicles enough can even have an EMP-like effect that temporarily disables them. So if you see a gun you don't recognise, pick it up and put it to the test. Having a wide knowledge of Halo's arsenal can be vital to picking up those victories, and sometimes you might just find something that's really fun to use. Because we all love a good old rocket launcher, don't we?
Your team scored!
Nice.
Melee attacking has been an integral part of securing kills in Halo for as long as the game's existed. A straight punch against an enemy at full health won't take them down though, so you need to soften them up with some shots and lower their shields first, and then go in for the kill. Melee attacks are quick and deal high damage, and there's even spiked weapons that melee attack faster than a normal would, so it's important to know when you're close enough to try and go for that punch to finish them off. Even if Halo does have that weird thing where two people can kill each other with melee attacks simultaneously, it's important to note that melee attacks against someone's back will instantly kill them, so if you think you've got the right positioning for it, save yourself a few bullets and just smack them across the back of the head. Halo does feel a lot like old shooters in some ways. It might not be as fast, but constant movement is still essential if you want to win a gunfight. On top of that, there's plenty of objective modes, and right now Halo Infinite doesn't have a playlist dedicated purely to Slayer. So it's important to pay attention to the icons on your heads up display so you can play the objective. I mean sure, racking up loads of kills is a way to help the team, but ultimately it's not the best way to help. If you're playing Capture the Flag, it is vital that you're trying to steal the enemy flag or protect your own. Strongholds is a kind of domination-like mode where you need to capture multiple zones to score points. Or there's the good old-fashioned oddball mode where a skull spawns in the middle of the map, and whichever team has a player holding it gradually scores points. Racking up kills is one thing, but playing the objectives is essential to winning in most of these modes. So don't be that guy that doesn't contribute. Please. One of the newer features is how equipment works in Halo Infinite. Now, it's a pickup item you'll find in maps, and each piece of equipment has a limited amount of uses which varies per equipment. Some old favourites return, such as the active camouflage, which makes players almost invisible, and stops them from appearing on enemy radars as long as they're not sprinting or taking damage. There's also the overshield, which gives players additional shields and allows them to take more of a beating than usual. There are also threat sensors which create an area, and any enemies that walk through them will be marked on your HUD so you can see them clearly. Repulsors allow you to reflect grenades and other projectiles, and the grappling hook has a variety of uses. The obvious one is to get you up to those hard to reach places, but it can also be hooked to other players to close the distance. You can attach it to vehicles to try and hijack or get in them. You can even use it to pull items on the ground such as weapons towards you. Learning the ins and outs of these equipments is another very important thing to try and do, as they just might save your life if they're used properly. You can also ping stuff in multiplayer. A quick tap of up on the D-pad or the X on a keyboard will mark things out for your teammates. It's a simple, quick and effective way to communicate information such as vehicles, weapons, or enemy locations among many other things. It's a useful way to communicate with teammates without actually having to communicate with your teammates. When you're in a fight, don't be afraid to use your grenades. Everyone else does. Once you've shot them as much as possible, just start tossing grenades wildly at them like it's going out of fashion. It might be because they've backed around a corner and you think you can finish them off. Or maybe you need to try and keep people at bay so you can reload and regenerate your shields. Grenades are meant to be thrown, so don't hold on to them or get attached. You've got your good old frag grenades which bounce around and blow up like every other grenade, but there's a few special ones in there like the plasma grenade which can stick to enemies, or the spike grenade which you can use to turn your friends into unicorns. And if you see fusion cores lying around, you can pick them up and throw them at enemies for high damage as well. So don't be afraid to throw all of your grenades at a single enemy just to secure that kill. They're lethal, explosive, and it's pretty funny to watch people go flying when they get killed by one.
Nice nade there, Spartan!
So that's the beginner's guide to Halo Infinite multiplayer. While I have your attention, I'd just like to say thank you to my friends Steph, Dan, Trace and Robbie for helping me film some footage, and otherwise, Halo Infinite multiplayer is free to play on Xbox and PC, so why not give it a try? Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe to the channel, and check out thegamer.com for more.